All I ever knew were battles. Believe it or not, but as a child, I was schooled in the art of warfare. Taught that from my father's house to my mother's side were battles that I had inherited by virtue of birth. I was told that I had to overcome these battles before I could eventually make headway in life. I'm saying all my life, I was taught to stand at the front lines of my ancestral battles, but nobody ever taught to teach me about the holy wars of God. Nobody taught me that long before time began in the volume of the books, the plan wasn't for me to become weary while fighting ancestral battles. I was made to be a warrior, quite all right, but I was also made to be more. I was made to be a weapon of war. Nobody told me that many years down the line it would be required of my pen to be a sword, one that has been forged through the many fires of adversity, ready at every instant to pierce not just the hearts of men, but also to sear the enemies of God. Nobody told me that my pen would be the instrument with which God writes upon the hearts of men. Nobody told me that years down the line my voice would be a shofar for holy wars, ready to pierce not just the night but also the darkness, returning men back to the household of faith, bringing the prodigal ones back home. Nobody told me. Most importantly, nobody taught me that as God's warrior, it would be required of me to make sacrifices. And that meant that if there came a day when I ever ran out of ink, it would be required of me to gladly substitute my blood for one. Nobody told me. And just maybe nobody told you too. Maybe nobody told you that you matter in God's grand plan for takeover. Maybe nobody told you that you matter in God's holy wars. Perhaps the only thing that society taught you was that you are nothing more than an XY chromosome, only good enough for making babies. Maybe they told you that your only worth was in your womb. Maybe your church even confined you to kitchens and stereotypes. Because I know that many have doubted our strength. Many have doubted our strength and denied and questioned our purpose as women. I know that many see our strength and our power as a silent tomb. I know. They forget that the women of old, women like Jael, Esther, and Deborah, they were women who defied the norms of their days and broke the shackles that held them bound. That they were women who won the victory for nations, some with bare hands and others with wisdom. They forget that these women carved their name in time, made a statement that resounds even boldly now. And that statement is that our kind is not weak, that our kind is not feeble, that we were not made to cower in the face of battle, that we were made for more. And so if nobody told you, allow me to make a bold statement right now, backed by the God in whom we have believed. I make the bold statement to say, descendant of Eve, you matter. In God's grand plan, you matter. And no, the only thing that matters is not your womb. It's not your ability to, cook up a meal that's delicious enough. It's certainly not your face card. You matter. Beyond all of this, you matter. Beyond the boundaries of our world, beyond the lies that society has told you, beyond all of the stereotypes, you matter. In God's grand plan for takeover, you matter. You were not made to just dwell in tents while the men go to war. You were also made as an instrument of war. I mean, when God made you, He said, this is good. You matter. So let that sink in. Let that be the consciousness with which you go about your day. You matter. And everything is a weapon. Everything that Yahweh has placed in your hands is a weapon. So war with it. Your talents, the deposits that He has invested deep on your insides, your jobs, it is all a weapon. You in all of your glory and entirety, you are a weapon of war. So war with it. You matter, and you have a place in God's holy wars. Yahweh Sabaoth.